wait. I've got an idea.
Thank you so much. You probably saved my life.
It was my pleasure. Anytime.
I'm interested in this old chapel. I wanted to take a closer look, but obviously there isn't much left of it.
No, it was largely destroyed during an air raid in World War II. But maybe I can help you?
You?
Yes, me. With nothing to do all day, you have to keep yourself occupied somehow. And I occupy myself with history.
Excellent. Then maybe you can tell me something about Cardinal Coubertin. He had this chapel built, didn't he?
Yes, he did. But there isn't a whole lot we know about him. All the records kept while he was in office are stored in his archives.
And where are they?
Who knows? They searched high and low after his death, but they haven't been found to this day. Nobody even remembers where he was buried. All I know is that he had a curator who took care of his legacy following his death in 1663. The curator died 10 years later. They found his body in his squalid basement dwelling after he had been dead for a week. He should be buried in this cemetery as well, but I have no idea as to where exactly. I don't even really know his name. I think it was Michel or something like that.
Well, at least it's a start. Not much to go on, but better than nothing. Are there no further clues?
Not really. He was barely known around here. Cardinal Coubertin brought him back from one of his journeys. He wasn't a local man. Also, he hardly ever went out, and when he did, he was heavily covered up, which soon led to wild speculation amongst the locals. He served the cardinal for almost 40 years.
Okay, I'll take another look around here. Thanks again for the rescue and the brief history lesson.
It was my pleasure. I'll be here for a while yet, so if you have any more questions...
This chapel has me stumped. I need some additional hints. Maybe I should try to find the curator's grave first. I'm just going to take a look around.
You do that.
A compost heap. All right. Here I go again, rummaging through dirt. Ugh, nothing else here. I will go look for the grave of Michel the curator then. It isn't much of a lead, but since he seems to have been rather close to Cardinal Coubertin, maybe there's some hope of finding something out that way. The path splits in 3 directions here. Graves from the 1650s, graves from the 1660s, and graves from the 1670s. Let's try this way. The graves here appear to be sorted by wealth. Poor on one side, rich on the other. Where do I go? Let's see what I find down this path. Oh my, they certainly have this thoroughly organized. They separated people who died young from those who passed away at a ripe old age. Let's go this way now. Yet another sorting criterion, but this appears to be the last. This time they distinguished between women, men, and families. Bureaucracy is obviously not a very recent invention. Now where does this path lead? There is no grave here of anyone named Michel, or of anybody whose name is even remotely similar. I should recheck my information regarding this curator. Maybe I overlooked something important. I will go look for the grave of Michel the curator. The path split. Let's try. The grave's here. Let's see what I... Oh my, these... Let's go this way now. Yet another... Now where does this path lead? Is this the right area? The Cardinal's curator would hardly have been a woman, or maybe... Who knows? Michelle, the curator was actually a woman. No wonder she hardly ever went out in public, and was always so heavily covered up. If that had become known, I assume that when she was buried, this scandalous fact was discovered and hushed up. This is probably why her grave has been forgotten. I hope I can find a clue here and finally make some progress. If you should remember anything interesting regarding...
Then I will let...
Thanks. Did it! I am truly a genius. But as usual, there is nobody around who could really appreciate that. There appears to be another room built into the rock by the far side of the abyss. Thanks to my famously positive attitude, I live in hopes that it is the archive we are looking for. Seems to be an old map of what is France these days. There's a legend on the panel next to it. The king was in dire straits. He had withdrawn to Provence, and the options he had left did not bode well. The peasants were rising to the north, and the reinforcements from the Kingdom of Navarre, who had just crossed the border, were forced to go up against a massive fortress to the east. Meanwhile, his opponent sat back and eagerly watched the spectacle unfold from his country estate in Brittany. There are obviously still some stones missing from the mosaic. I don't even need to start figuring out the correct positions until I have them all. There are obviously I cannot get over there. But looking at all these safety precautions, I think I have good reason to hope that the archive is behind that wall. If you should remember
Then
Thanks. There are obvious... It fits. It almost looks like the stone came from this mosaic in the first place. I wonder whether there are any stones that fit in the remaining empty fields. It's halfway stable where it is, and I don't... Hello. There's something else I think you might be able to help me with.
no problem. What is it?
I found a mosaic in there, but a few of the stones are missing. I found a light blue stone up here in the altar chamber that matches the mosaic perfectly. I suspect there might be more stones like it. Maybe the same strange shade of blue. Do you have any idea where I might find stones like this?
No, not really.
Well, I guess that would have been too easy.
Stop. Wait. I just thought of something. Many buildings around here were destroyed during World War II air raids.
Yes?
All stones from the derelict buildings that were still halfway usable were used for rebuilding, including those from this church.
Rebuilding what?
Well, first, there is a little bridge not far from here. Then, the old metro station. And the jail, I think.
Great. In that case...
Oh, yes, and the zoo.
That's a lot of buildings. Any idea where I should look first?
They were all built pretty much at the same time. But at least you needn't try the zoo right now, because it is still closed.
Okay, I'll save it for later then. Can you tell me how to get to these places?
I've got this tourist info map that I can give you. Wait, let me mark the relevant sites for you.
I'll go hunting for the missing blue stones then. I think I'll start with the bridge. It's supposed to be close to here. What an interesting phenomenon. A local rain shower that stops right in the middle of the bridge. The idle street cleaner may be slightly less impressive, but at least he's in harmony with the overall picture. Unfortunately, there's not a stone in sight that could fit into the mosaic. Maybe it's on the other, dirty side of the bridge. A heap of dirt, garbage, and rotting leaves. The street cleaner may not move terribly fast, but he sure does a thorough job. I gave up complaining about having to rummage through garbage a long time ago. Money. Mine for the picking. A pacifier. Hello?
Hi.
You're a street cleaner, right?
No, I am a molecular biologist collecting samples for scientific research.
Oh, I really thought you were... What kind of research?
Of course I am a street cleaner.
Oh, a comedian. I never knew street cleaners were so witty. Not that I've met all that many. The only time I've ever seen the streets swept completely clean was during a World Cup final.
Touché.
Why are you still sweeping this side of the bridge? It's spotless, but the other side is completely filthy.
Have you looked over to the other side?
Yes. Why?
It is raining.
Such things are known to happen.
Indeed. So, I am waiting for it to stop.
You mean you're not sweeping the other side of the bridge because it's raining?
No, that would be silly.
I thought so.
I am not sweeping there because I would get wet.
Oh, and you think that's less silly?
Would you jump into a cesspit?
No, but...
You see, so why should I volunteer to get soaked? Especially when there are alternatives.
Which are?
I can continue to sweep here.
But it's clean here.
But not surgically clean.
What will you do if it starts to rain on this side, too?
Then I will be out of luck and get wet.
And then what?
Then I will sweep the other side of the bridge. After all, I will already be wet in that case.
And they tell me female logic is hard to understand. Why are you so scared of water?
I'm not. I'm just not keen on getting wet. Not as long as I can avoid it.
So it's not some childhood trauma?
Not that I know of. It's a professional hazard.
Getting wet?
Rain. You know, swing your broom, clouds will loom.
To think that I keep getting accused of having a penchant for puns and bad poetry. Surely while sweeping you would have noticed if a blue stone had been built into this bridge, right?
Yes, indeed. If I had actually cleaned this bridge before.
Haven't you?
No, I'm just helping out. And there is no blue stone on this side of the bridge. I'm sure I would have noticed it after sweeping here for 4 hours.
Yes, you certainly would. Unlike the right half of the bridge, this part is really filthy. I haven't got the right equipment. I had better try to get the street cleaner to sweep over here.